your separation vibe energy reading, which is general. I already did take my not take, what am I trying to say? I already did do one because I was one of my spirit sisters requested and asked if I do one, generally speaking, a separation reading as far as like how she put it, how does the DM feel about being separated or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'm sure the collective probably of my audience or maybe some new people might want to see that type of reading. So whatever. I did do it. Long story short, I didn't feel like it was meant for me to share that reading. I feel like it may have been for her, actually, honestly. So she got a free little hour-long reading. So, yeah. And on top of that, my camera fell and stuff, and it was just too much. I don't have time to edit all of that out, and I don't even know how to do that. So I'm just like, no, I'm not going to upload that. And maybe that's just my ego not wanting to, be a perfectionist, and I don't want, like, my production is already bootleg already, so I don't want it to even be more bootleg. So, yeah. So I'm going to just re-record it, and hopefully, the message that's meant to be public will come out, and I trust the Most High God with that. So let's just see what the messages are for the collective. Now, mind you, you guys, these readings are general. They're not personal readings, so please don't ever take everything verbatim in a reading unless it resonates with you. Like, that it's truth. It feels right within you. You're your own inner guidance and compass. You have to use your own discernment. Not every message within this reading is meant to resonate with every person watching. That would be lovely, and in some cases it's not really meant to be that way. So take what resonates, if it resonates at all with you in the first place. So I don't know what's going to come out in these readings, so I just want to warn you, if you're easily triggered by certain messages and it's not all rainbows and fluffy stuff and telling you what you want to hear, telling you that, oh, the divine masculine's obsessed with you and they can't get enough of you and they want to marry you and they can't stand their karmic partner and they're going to leave them for you and all this shit. If you can't, because I'm a shadow worker, like, I will look at the shadows. Like, I'm not a surface person. So if you want to go beneath the surface, here I am to help you and assist you with that. So yeah, if you guys are open to healing, open to doing the work, the shadow work, clearing and being honest and real, then that's what I'm here for. But if you just want to hear about the good stuff and that's it, I can't help you with that. I can't help you with that, because the good stuff is here, but it's like, let's clear up the weeds first. Let's pull that stuff out of the way, and let's just be real and honest. It's real life over here. Even Disney has a little, some ups and downs and things. So anyway, that makes no sense. But let's tap into the overall energy of your connection, and then I will do an individual read for you and your counterpart. Friends or enemy? Are we friends? Are we lovers? Are we enemies? Okay. It doesn't have to be that this is the energy between you and your divine counterpart. So I'm just going to do it in the way that I'm going to refer to these things as you guys are used to it. Divine feminine, divine masculine. If you guys are not into soulmates, twin flames, or whatever you feel is like the end all be all type of connection, if you're not into those labels and titles, I completely understand, because I've grown out of that stuff. I'm not attached to titles and labels necessarily. Like, they help, they navigate things, they make sense to some degree, but I'm never going to be attached to a concept of something. So if you're that type of person that's just looking for relationship advice and you're not into all that stuff, that's cool. This can still resonate with you. This isn't just for people, that identify with those twin flames or soulmate concepts or divine counterparts, whatever we title them or label them. It doesn't have to be that that's all it is. So let's see what the overall, the energy. I'm going to use my Major Arcana deck. It's not my deck, actually. I mean, I own it, but it's not, I didn't create it. It's the God Tarot. The God Tarot. It's a Major Arcana deck, so I'm going to use that and then clarify with my Kama Sutra Tarot cards. Okay. Success, which is the Sun card in this deck. Transformation. Change. So you have the Death card, the Tower card, Power, which is the Magician, Beginning, which is the Fool. Okay. So we got friend or enemy. So it's this energy. Got a lot of good energies though. So it's kind of like battling the ego. Both of you guys may be going through a process where you're battling the things about yourself that no longer serves you, because you got transformation in the Tower card. So that tells me that this is a process. It's like a self-mastery process that you're going through and they're going through. You guys might not be on the best of terms with each other. When I say separation, let me clarify what separation could mean. Separation for me, and in my understanding spiritually, is that separation is not just about the fact that the person's not physically in your life, or that you're not speaking, or that you're at a distance. It can represent this person is in your life, but there's miscommunication, or you guys are emotionally distant, or you guys are not intimate, sexually intimate. There's some sort of barrier or block that's causing a separation energetically, not just physically. So take what resonates with you. So it could be that you and your counterpart are just at odds with each other, and it's really you're facing yourself. It's kind of like they're triggering you and they're mirroring you. And if you look at this card, it's got like an audience, and these audience seem to be like gods and goddesses watching. So this can represent your spirit team, your ancestors. Your guys are like watching you guys go through this, because it's something that it's almost like, let them fight, let them get this out the way. You know how parents are like, let them get it out, let the boys fight it out. So it's kind of like you and this person are mirroring each other, and you're triggering each other to battle or fight that battle within the self, to make those necessary changes and transformation. As these cards say right here, you got to go through that spiritual transformation. And with the death card and the Tower card being Scorpio energies, these are energies of having to go deep within yourself, which may not be necessarily easy. It's very challenging, but the rewards are so great, because it's teaching you how to master yourself. So Spirit's telling you to embrace whatever change is being presented to you in your connection. Both of you are to embrace this change. Also, I do feel that Spirit wants you to focus on the power that you're manifesting within like this process. There's something magical that's taking place, and he's meditating, his eyes are closed. So it's something that's taking place within the self that's powerful, that also is going to manifest the outer world, because you have the beginning, which is the Fool card. So the Fool card has this child. So it's kind of like you're giving birth to something. You're giving birth to this new energy. So that's why certain things need to change in your environment, which is going to bring about success. It's going to bring about, this is all for your highest good. Although it may seem like, I don't know if I can trust this person. I don't know if I can trust this connection. I don't know if I can trust my angels or my guides. You might be at this point where you feel like they're just not here. Where are my angels? Where are my guides? They're not here. They're not doing nothing. What's happening? Like, why does it feel like I don't have any support? Like, God, where are you? Universe, like, what's really real right now? And it could be going through that breaking point of challenging your existence and challenging everything that you've learned or what you thought you knew, and having to seek that truth within yourself. And your guides are there, but they want you to be self-reliant, and this other person may be going through that. So just because you may be a little more knowledgeable spiritually than them doesn't mean that you are not going through a process that you're struggling. It's like a baby goes through its milestones. Okay, first you got to learn how to suck the nipple, right? And you got to learn how to drink the baba. Then you got to learn how to eat food, baby food, then solid foods, and then playing with toys, crawling, walking, riding your bike for the first time. Like you think that you mastered something. Yes, you have, but then there's always an evolutional process. It never stops. Your soul is always seeking to go higher, and this person is going to do that for you, and you for them. But right now, it's like you guys are giving birth to an aspect of you. You're giving birth to a new energy, and you're going through a change. And your guides are there. They just kind of like are stepping away, like the mom and the dad, when they They help the baby, you know, they're going to teach the baby how to walk, or they're going to help the baby, but at some point they have to let the baby's hand go and allow the baby to do what it do. Ride their bikes, you know, same thing. Help them get on the training wheels and help them with that. Then take the training wheels off and help them with that. And then after that, they have to step back and allow them to ride their bike on their own, or go to kindergarten for the first time, or preschool. It's like, that's what this kind of is like with your guides in the background. Both of you guys are kind of battling it out, but it's also what you're really battling is that ego, that energy. This person could be triggering you, okay? And it could also be that there's third-party energies in the background that are also challenging the situation a little bit. And when I say third parties, it does not always have to be exclusively romantically, just so you know. All right, let's see what's up with this. I'm going to clarify these cards. I'm trying to get that card that flipped upward. There it is. We got the Empress card. So this is the birth. This is the mother. They're having intercourse. This whole deck is about, you know, getting it in, like spiritual sex, you know, sacred sex. But I'm looking at it from, you know, the seed being planted, you know, in fertile energy. And with the Empress, what she represents is she's the divine mother energy. She gives life and she gives birth. And it also represents the divine feminine energy, the divine principle, or it could represent you as a divine feminine. But this success comes from whatever you're giving birth to, whatever the seed is that you're planting. And I feel like the Magician is that seed, and the Fool is that portal, because the Fool is nothingness. It's a zero. It's just 0.0. It's also a feminine. It's a whole, you know, I'm being a little graphic, but this is like a metaphysical thing. I'm trying to break it down. So it's like the 0 represents the nothingness, the portal of, you know, the womb, right? The seed is the Magician. The Magician is that 1. The 1 is like that phallic symbol, that essence, that forth that gives life, that gives birth to something, that light in the darkness, right? So that's what I feel is happening. It's a process. There's a process that's taking place. There's death with the transformation card, and there's change that's taking place, but it's bringing about a successful outcome. And what it is going to lead to is a new beginning. And I feel like that's what's being given birth to. And the feminine energy may be the forerunner of this, the divine feminine. So you got the 4 of Cups, clarifying the Death card. Yeah, this is a situation you're not too keen on this, and you're not too excited about where things are right now. It's not easy for you. You take yourself out of this connection and you're looking at it from an individual standpoint. You might not be handling this too well, or so you might feel or think. But in actuality, like, Spirit is wanting you to look at this from a clear perspective, that you may not see how this is moving forward. You may not see that there is a ship that's guiding you and leading you with the 6 of Swords. You may not see that. You may not see that this person is moving forward or doing what they need to do, but in actuality, they are doing just what Spirit is asking them to do. So then you got the World card, clarifying the Magician. So this is... So it's funny because you have the beginning, the first major arcana card, which is the Fool, and then the last major arcana card, which is the World card in the tarot. So this seed that you're planting, it is creating a completely new energy, a whole new existence or reality for yourself and your connection to, whatever that may be. So it's very important that whatever you're thinking, or whatever you're feeling, or whatever you're contemplating inwardly, be very mindful of that, because that's what essentially what you're giving birth to. That is what you're creating. For some of you guys, literally, you guys can be having babies with your person. And you got the 3 of Pentacles, clarifying the Fool. So the 3 of Pentacles is like, it takes you two to manifest this, but it also takes that essence, that unknown energy, that divine energy, that third energy, the Holy Trinity, to make this happen. And for some of you guys, you are giving birth to businesses. You guys are giving birth to some sort of inheritance for your children, or a child that you guys are inheriting or giving birth to, like I said. But it could be, you know, this energy, as you give birth to yourselves, you guys give birth to this third energy, which is very powerful, whatever that may be. So Let's go ahead and move on to the Divine Feminine energies and where Divine Feminine is with this connection as a whole, how they're holding up with this connection. And then I will do the same for the Divine Masculine, and then separately I will look at how they feel about each other. And that will be towards the end, so that's how we're going to do it. Alright, so how is the Divine Feminine holding up with this whole separative energy? How are they holding up? This deck is not easy to shuffle. I can't even do the whole bridge thing because it's like thick. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Where is the Divine Feminine's at? Spirit. Most High God. Thank you. Individuality. Okay. Illusion. Art, which is the Hierophant. Control, which is the Chariot. Transformation again with the Death card. And success again with the Sun card. So you got illusion, which is the Moon. Art, which is the Hierophant. Control, the Chariot. Transformation, the Death card. And success is the Sun card. So this whole energy, I feel, is a death to the ego. Everything that you thought you knew about yourself and everything that you thought that you wanted, having to solely lean upon this aspect of yourself. No more are you to be hiding in the shadows. Spirit will not allow this. You prayed for this. A lot of you prayed for this being in this ability to completely step in the forefront and be who you are and be yourself. So you've had to cut out all the BS and everything that you thought that you knew. And it could be a challenge because a lot of you guys are stubborn feminine energies, or you're just very, very independent feminine energies. Because you are the forerunners. You're the ones that are mapping the way for others to follow, you know, kind of as a map to guide them to their own personal journeys as a leader themselves, and having to also help people behind them as well. So it's like you have this inner strength about you that wants to be in control, but it's also a tad bit of the ego. And your spirit guides and your ancestors and God and the universe, whatever you believe in, that higher power is that got you, is kind of causing you to surrender to all of that. Because the illusion is that, and one of my sisters said this, one of my spirit sisters said, the thing is, the funny thing is, we didn't even have control in the first place like we think that we do, because there's always something greater inwardly that's guiding us, or not really outside of ourselves, because God is a part of us, and so is our ancestors and our spirit guides. So these are workings within us, but something greater than what our human perception can fathom is already in control and already has everything in order and in alignment, and you're just stepping into that power and that I am energy. So that control is coming from the ego's basis of things, and its attachment to the physical world and the material world and to its own timing, and this has to be this way. And spirit is causing you to surrender, because there's this an illusion that what's yours is going to be taken, and what's yours can never be taken, because what's yours is a part of you. So if it's something that has been removed out of your life, it's because it was no longer needed, and it's not, it may not have been of your highest good, whatever. Maybe it was good for a time or what have you. But whatever this is, it's like you're relearning aspects of yourself in your journey, and spirit wants you to release that control, because it's like you're just going to continue to fight yourself, and it's going to continue to be this inner battle that you're coming towards. So it's kind of like allow spirit to show you how to get to your destination, that GPS system. The Chariot card to me always makes me think of Jesus take the wheel, like God, the universe, whatever, take the wheel. It's like when you put that address into your GPS system, I said this in the other reading, and it came to me so like perfectly, I don't know why, but it's like, say there's all these different pathways how to get to one destination, right? You want to go to Miami, or you want to go to Cali, or you want to go to Mexico, whatever, and you put that in your GPS system. So say for instance California, because that's, you know, that's easy distance for some people, or if you live on the West Coast like me, just put in your GPS system, I want to go to California. There's many different freeways and ways you can get to California. You can take a bus, you can take an airplane, you can take a private jet, you can take a train, you can take a ship or a boat to these destinations. So it's like you may choose to go these different ways, but what we need to realize is that we're always going to be led to that destination which is of our highest good, and spirit knows the way. So no matter what we think we're doing, what's funny is we think we got it like that, like, oh, I'm gonna choose to, you know, do this, or if I do this I can speed up time. And it's like you're not gonna get there no sooner or no faster. You're still gonna be there when the right time, when you're meant to be there. And there may be detours, there may be cancellations, there may be all types of things, car accidents, whatever. Not literally speaking, but as a GPS system, there's always going to be something that may make us feel like we're being delayed, or it's not working, or it didn't go our way, or it's taken too long, or it happened too quickly. But the thing is, we're always going to be led to that destination that we're meant to go, if it's meant for us. But what is meant for us is inevitable, and that's what you need to remember. And I feel like that's the illusion, is feeling like everything, like we can control everything, when actuality everything is already divinely led for us in some instance. Although we do have free will, that's what these different pathways and choices are. But the game is that the destination and the ending is inevitable. It's like death, right? It's inevitable. So transformation, again, is like the death is inevitable. I know that I'm ever and constantly changing. Things constantly change and evolve. So what makes me think that my thinking or my beliefs or my feelings or me as a person is not meant to change? So it's giving into that ego death. Your ego is dying, because the ego death is not just about, you know, how we appear to the world. The ego death is also our beliefs that we thought that this is that, or our feelings about things. We're constantly changing, and once we evolve and when we learn different things, it cancels out the next thing, and that's a part of growth and evolution. Anybody that's on a spiritual journey knows this. Like, you might have started off, you know, with religion, and then you might have started off with law of attraction, and then you started off with metaphysics and chakras, and then you just keep going and going, and you see that everything aligns with each other. It's all connected. It's all has a purpose. None is better than the next. It's all connected. It's how you utilize that information, and what is it doing for you? How has it helped you? So then you have success. So this is all going to lead, like, this is the thing that you have to remember, that you're not going to be backed into a corner to fail, even if it might feel that way in the midst of this. But there is success. There's a positive outcome, if you want to call it that. And it requires you to step out and be your authentic self, because all these aspects of who you are and who you're becoming, they're all a part of you anyway, to some extent. They all are playing a role in this. And how does this play a role in your divine connection? Well, because as your divine connection, you have to be a whole being within yourself. I always say this, you can't be a fragmented being and expect to be in a whole, balanced, divine, harmonious connection with anything or anyone. When you're fragmented, when you're scattered, your energies are scattered, your feelings, your beliefs are scattered. You have work to do as well. Two of Wands, Two of Swords, the Hangman, the Five of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. It's inevitable that whatever this is, you're going to be successful. It's going to be a positive outcome, whether it's expected or much more than what you expect. So the Two of Wands is that no matter what decision, that illusion is no matter what path you take with the Two of Wands, you're going to be led to your divine path. The Two of Swords can represent you're struggling to understand this process, or you're struggling between beliefs with the Two of Swords. You're back and forth, double-minded. Something about elephants, because there's an elephant here and then you have Ganesh here, so it could have something to do with that. But it's also, maybe you can learn something from Ganesh if you're into, I love Ganesh, if you can learn something from him or her. Then you have control with the Hangman. So it's like the illusion of being in control and letting that go, because it also is stagnating your energy. It's stagnating it. It's holding it back. You know, this forward movement, this guidance, however you're being led,